Hey, sorry, I didn't see you guys there. This is awkward. Aftershave? I know, I didn't shave, I know. I want to talk to you guys about what my experience was like when I was living in my car it wasn't last winter, it was the winter before that. I slept in my car for a little bit over 6 months in the wintertime. It got pretty bad a couple nights. I remember falling asleep watching my breath as I was trying to sleep, and I got really sick for a little bit there because the cold air in my lungs and stuff like that, and it's like no matter how many blankets you put over top of you, you can still get pretty cold at night. But I couldn't afford rent. I was working as a server in a sports bar. I wasn't making enough money to pay rent, so I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna create bad juju between my friend and I, so I chose to move out. And he had even said, dude, you don't have to go anywhere, you're fine. I don't mind if you stay here. And I just insisted on getting out on my own because I didn't want to use my friend any more than I already was, because I already wasn't paying rent there and I couldn't take it anymore. So I finally got out into my car. I left that job as a server and I went through a temp agency and started working full-time in a chemical plant, which was the worst job ever. All I did all day was stand in one spot and pull a 60-pound tray out of chemical and dump it into this machine, and all the dust, and it was like purple dust and black dust, depending on which chemical you were using that day, would just go up in your face. And by the end of the day, I was just black from head to toe or purple from head to toe. And this is when I was living in my car. I would go into the gym and work out and then shower at the gym, and then I would go sit in a Starbucks or Panera to submit for acting roles and study for auditions and write scripts and just kind of get my mind off of the fact that I was living in my car. And then by 11 o'clock or so, when stores would shut down, I would go park my car. I had a few different spots I would go to. I parked in this church parking lot for a while, until I woke up when a Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. people were coming into church, which is so, it's good. People are, want to worship God at 6 a.m. fine, but it wasn't good for me because I had to get the heck out of there by 5 a.m. And then I slept behind a business. I worked a few days at this wire warehouse. They were just a middleman, and they shipped out wires to different companies. And so my boss at the time there was like, dude, you can sleep behind the building here, which is hilarious now that I think about it. Dude was he knew I was homeless, and he was like, you can sleep behind our building. And it was really awesome. It was peaceful in the mornings. I would wake up on the weekends and nobody would be around, and it was by this field, and I remember just sitting there just enjoying the moment. You can always enjoy a moment, whether you're in your car or you're rich. It doesn't matter. You got to find moments in life and just enjoy them. But one night, I was sitting there eating hot dogs, watching Netflix on my phone, and a cop car pulls up behind me. Whoop, whoop. Great. It was right as I was about to eat the hot dog. So I'm all right, what the heck? And then another cop car pulls up behind me, and I had 3 cop cars behind me. And they all start searching my car and asking me why I'm sleeping behind this building, and I explain my situation. I'm a starving actor, and I'm just trying to make, I'm working full time, but this guy said I could sleep here, and they didn't believe me. They're like, well, we don't have proof, so you gotta go. We're gonna let you go. They said I could sleep at a QT gas station or a Walmart parking lot. Those would be fine to sleep at. But I just had this just a weird, I didn't want to sleep in busy parking lots. I didn't like the idea of people staring at me in my car, and that sucked, let me tell you. So after that, I ended up going back to that church parking lot and sleeping there, and just knowing, okay, I have to get up really early in the morning before anyone shows up. So that's what I did. I kept my car really clean. I had a little grocery bag for my garbage, which I emptied out every day. And I would put my suitcase in the front seat, standing up. And so my back seat would just have my blanket, my pillow folded up, and then some stuff on the floorboards, other bags and some of my other stuff. And it was actually really clean. And at night, I would just I kept my suitcase in my back seat during the daytime. before I would sleep, I'd take the suitcase from the back seat and put it in the front seat. And during the day, I'd put it back in the back seat next to my folded blanket, my pillow on top of it. And it wasn't bad. I really didn't spend too much time in my car. The only time I really spent in my car was when I was sleeping in it. I was at church and I saw this woman, and for some reason I wanted to tell her my story, and she was like, "Oh, no, you know, we have too many people at this church for you to be sleeping in your car." And she insisted. So she got my phone number, and like an hour after church, she and her husband called me and invited me out to lunch. And I guess they were testing me because they offered me, you know, food, and I didn't take anything. I just got like a coffee. And so they liked the fact that I wasn't trying to like bouge off of them or whatever, you know. After I had lunch with them, they called me again like an hour later, and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, we got you a hotel room for a week, so come on up here." And they gave me the address, and I was just blown away. I drove there in tears, you know. And this is after being in my car for like a little bit over 6 months. I get there and they're waiting in the parking lot, waiting for me. And I get out of my car and I'm feeling kind of awkward because I really don't know them very well. And they just did like such a nice thing for me. And they're like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Where are we going?" And, you know, they're like, "We're going to go buy you some food." I was like, "No, you guys don't have to do that." And they're like, "Well, you need to eat, so we're going to get you food, and hopefully it's stuff you like, or you can come with us and pick what you want." So I was like, okay, you know, blown away again, trying not to cry. And we get to the grocery store, and I'm picking like all the cheap stuff, bologna, like regular bologna, just crappy bread, you know. And so every time I would pick something really cheap, the husband, Keith, would put it back. "No, you're not getting that bologna, it's crappy." He'd put it back, and we'd go to the deli, and I'd watch them shave turkey for me, shave ham for me. And then like the bread, he'd put the crappy bread back, and we'd go get like the bread with the nuts in it and stuff like that. After that week was up, they called me up. They're like, "Hey, come on over for a little bit." And I get to their house, this beautiful home, this really nice house, you know. And I get there, and they're like, "Well, we got a room for you set up, so you're gonna just stay here until you can get on your feet." And I was like, again, really blown away, and I couldn't believe it, you know. And they ended up taking me in, and I stayed with them for about 6 months, and they treated me like their kid. They didn't even want anything from me. They just wanted me to get back on my feet. They wouldn't even let me. It was like so hard to convince them to let me to even cut the grass. And finally I was able to do that, so I would cut the grass for them a few times a week, and clean the kitchen up as much as I could, even though like everything was always spotless in their house. But I just tried to do what I could. I made dinner for them and stuff. But I mean, that was an amazing thing for me, because if it wasn't for them, I might still be in my car. I don't know where I'd be right now, because there were some sketchy nights being in my car. But I never really lost hope. I always had my mind focused on what I was there to do, which was pursue an acting career. That's what I was going there for. I wasn't there to have fun. I was there to get my career, and that's still my mindset now. And it's almost a miracle that when my hand broke, my car broke at the same time, because if I still had a working car, I probably would have just moved back into my car. And I had to come home because I couldn't pay rent anymore. After I left Keith and Deb's house, the couple that took me in, I was able to move out and start paying rent somewhere. But after I was done with my job, I was gripping for Marvel. I worked on like the last 2 Avenger movies and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Everybody gets laid off after a certain point, and I ended up having to use the money I was going to use to join the union to continue gripping to end up getting a new car, because I had gotten into a car accident. This is my luck, right? Spun out, hit the wall like 3 times, and I came out like on top. I wasn't hurt at all. Actually broke my hand on a rope swing. Stupid. Yeah, so I bought the car I bought to replace the one that I wrecked. Ended up having transmission issues, so I had to come back home, and that's where I'm at now, to kind of reset my gears and get a car again so I can go back out to Atlanta, maybe LA, I don't know yet. My career is not over. I'm going to have what I want with my career. It's going to take time and dedication and hard work. And, you know, there's a saying, you have to sacrifice who you are for who you need to be. And I really believe in that. You know, when I moved into my car, I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew it was going to be a serious struggle, and it really was. But it was humbling. It taught me a lot of lessons in life and made me stronger. And I always say the smartest bird in the world is the eagle. They fly above storms. But I have this philosophy that when you go through the storm, you come out stronger, you come out on top, and you come out with even a little bit more wisdom. And that's what's important in life, is the more wisdom you have for yourself, you can build yourself up and do things more for yourself, but you also have more to offer for other people. And so that's one of the things I would love to do when my acting career really starts to take off, is I would love to, you know, mentor other people who want to be actors and help them and guide them so they don't make the same mistakes that I've been making and I will make probably in the future. But living in my car sucked, and I might end up having to do it again, and that's something I'm willing to do if I have to. We'll just see what happens when I end up going back to a city that is more actor friendly. Oh, and another thing, the first day, I can't find the magazine, but the first day in my car I was buying like water and bread and peanut butter and jelly, whatever. I came across the magazine. On the cover was Steve Harvey, and it said how I slept in my car and then got rich or whatever. It was like I slept in my car for 3 years and then became like the $1 million man or something. So I bought that magazine, I kept it with me, and I still have it. And it's basically, it was just a reminder that, you know what, this is where you are, but it's not where you're going to be. And if other people can do it, so can you. So that's going to be my little vlog, word of advice today. If other people can do it, so can you. So don't make excuses for yourself. Just do it. There are no excuses in life. If you want to do something, you got to do it. You got to fight for it. And it's going to be hard. It's going to suck. You might have to live in your car. You might have to go be poor. You might do something that's going to stress you out, but it doesn't matter, because guess what? It's all going to come together in the end if you stay with it. One of the biggest keys to success is consistency. And if you fight through that, if you fight through your consistency and just keep going, guess what? You're going to make it. Thanks for watching this. Oh, my next blog is going to be about how I got through my dad's suicide. It's going to be a little bit more serious. I know I haven't really been too goofy in this one, but yeah, that's going to be a much more serious vlog about getting through dealing with losing somebody to suicide. So I'm probably going to do that tonight. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thank you for watching, you guys. If you could, please subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, post a comment, let me know what you think about this video. I'm really trying to grow my channel. It's pretty difficult. They say the first 100 is hard, but those of you who are subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate it. The support means a lot to me, and I can't thank you guys enough, so thank you. Bye. Why did I say bye like that? Peace out.